To the extent people do know about fiscal problems, it focuses on the issue of pensions. What is the pension problem, and is it just about pensions, or is it broader?
What happened really was that in the 1960s, there were two phenomena in the United States. Public employees gained the right to bargain collectively, and government expanded exponentially. Public services expanded. And the Great Society, the Civil Rights Revolution, the commitment on the part of the federal government to provide health care for the elderly and the poor. So the services were provided by state and local governments. So government grew at the same time as the employees obtained the right to bargain. And they got increases in wages that I think were totally deserved. And then when the economy got tight, when there was a recession, and politicians didn't want to tax more to create more current benefits, the deals they made increased future benefits, deferred benefits, pension obligations. And that was the quid pro quo that unions quite properly and honorably were able to negotiate with municipal and state governments. And the problem was, however, as those obligations grew, several other things happened. The economy didn't grow on a continuing basis. The levels of return on investment didn't match the assumed levels at the time. And a lot of actuaries and a lot of sponsors have been using assumed discount rates to measure the adequacy of pension funds that are totally unrealistic, some bordering on being dishonest. Second of all, the number of people paying in is diminished as government isn't growing. It's shrinking in many jurisdictions. And third of all, people are living longer.
So what's the bottom line here?
The bottom line is that it is unlikely that we are going to be able to continue to have the kind of pension systems that we have now unless we sort of re-examine what the entire retirement policy in the United States ought to be. What this really means is the political system isn't facing up to this. They're not being honest about it.
What would being honest mean?
Use realistic discount rates, as was suggested in a report that the Society of Actuaries put out a year ago. And to fund those obligations properly, and to make sure that if they weren't, that instead of unions supporting the inappropriately low levels of contributions, which unfortunately many public employee unions do, they should be out there demanding that these pensions be fully funded. And the absence of the very people who would be the ultimate beneficiaries, the absence of their using their political clout to make sure the pensions are adequately funded, is a major reason for the failure.